Okay, good morning. It says I'm live. I hope I'm live. Let me double check and make sure everything's good. Um, hey, look at that. It's working. And I think you might be able to hear me too. Is this correct? I hope so. Let's see if we've got any volume. Ooh, gal, it's good. All right, here we go. We need some more lights on. It's kind of dark down here. There we go. All right. Good morning, friends. And coffee. I have my favorite mug, my Prince mug. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. So, how is everybody this morning? Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Karen. We even have a guest joining us. Look at little Emmy Lulu on her little mat. Oops, I shouldn't have disturbed it. You know what they say about leaving a sleeping dog lay. Thanks for sharing, Karen. I appreciate it. So, oh my gosh, you guys. It's celebration. It is a new catalog. There's just all kinds of fun stuff happening again at Stampin' Up, and I guess it's always been happening. I just kind of took that little hiatus and missed out on all my fun. I always say that stamping is my way to decompress. You know what, Karen? She is adorable. I know she's mine and I might be a little partial, but she really is adorable. And sometimes you want to get upset with her. Okay, now I'll do this, but I'm not going to say her name. You want to get upset with her, but you can't. She's too cute, and you just look at her and smile. So it's all a good thing. I'm very, very happy I'm very happy that I got her when I got her, and she's just been my best little friend. Hello, Janine. Good morning. All right, you guys, let's see what we've got going on here. We've got a few people on, not a lot, but a few. So who knows, maybe somebody will join later. I'm going to flip down to our workstation. You know what? You have to plug this camera in order for it to work. Of course you do. So let's see if I plug it in, if it's going to work. Oh, cross your fingers. All right, let's try that. And I don't want my... All right, now I'm going to go back here. And then I'm going to go here. Why? Why would that? Let's just, well, put itself in. Let me see if I can turn it off. Turn it on. Settings. Oh, yeah. There we have it. Oh my gosh, you guys, I think I'm finally, after all this time, understanding the software you do to get all of my messages. But that's all right, because this card has lots of pieces and lots of parts. So let's do this. The new mini catalog. Boom. Isn't it good? Love it. There are so many good things inside of here. And thank you for sharing, Nancy. And celebration. Do. Celebration means that for every $50 that you spend, you earn free products. So, with that being said, the stamp set that I'm going to use today is called Jungle Pals, and there are coordinating dies. Some of the dies are missing because I have them in my little dish here because we're going to be using them for our cards. But it's a 15-piece die set. Now we're bouncing up. I see more people out there. Yay. All right. So here it is. This is the Jungle Pals in the Celebration catalog. Unfortunately, fortunately, when you spend $50, you can pick this stamp set, and it's got the cute little animals. So you guys, I'm not the best, but I think is this a ring-tailed lemur? Is that what that is? I think so. Sloth, tiger, alligator, and the toucan. So today I'm going to be using the alligator and the toucan. And then the stamp set that I had from the annual catalog that I thought fit with this well for sentiments. Or if you wanted to add like an alligator, because that would work perfectly. When you stamp the alligator, it looks like this. And so you could have one down on the ground and one biking through. I don't know, just an idea. But I picked it for the sentiments. I wanted the happy birthday to you and then something great to celebrate you. All right. And then, here, I don't know if I finished saying, but then when you purchase $100 in product, you can select the dies. So with a $150 order, you not only get these two items, you'll get your $150 in product, plus you'll get Stampin' Rewards. So if you do place that $150 order, remember not to use the host code on orders of $150 or more. Okay? And if you are going to spend $150, talk to me. I need team members. My team is kind of dwindling a little bit, and I really need team members. So if you're thinking about spending $150, talk to me because I have got a join deal for you. All right. Here's what we're going to use today. Here's the card. Lots of die cutting and some coloring. And then something great to celebrate. Now, I was inspired by the catalog. I was struggling a little bit with the set because you'll see I don't do a lot of animals, but here was the card that was in the brochure, and it had just the toucan and the tree and some leaves and whatnot. So I took it and jazzed it up just a little bit. All right. Thank you, Karen. Okay. So this paper, don't you love it? And I always forget about this. And actually, it was Beth that inspired me or reminded me. It's like, hey, you've got all this great paper down there. Why don't you ever use it? Because what this is you'll find them in the annual catalog. They come out new every year. It's a 6x6 bright designer series paper. You get 40 sheets. So there's 10 colors. You get 4 of each color. So you get 2 sheets. I'll show you 2 sheets that are this stripe, but they have the polka dot back. And then you get 2 sheets that have these little lines along with the heart. How good is that? So, and like I said, you get 4 sheets of each of the 10 colors in our color family. And then there's also, and it's for the bright, subtles, neutrals, and regals. Then there's also the in color prop. So check it out. It's in the paper section of the annual catalog. All right. Anybody not to the catalog that's watching, please let me know because I will mail. I'd be happy to mail one out to you. So just let me know or deliver one to you, whatever works best. All right, I want to bring in my silicone mat. And the first thing we're going to do is take our envelope. So the 6x6 piece of paper looked like this, right? And I cut off the 3 3/4 by 5, which left me this little piece up here, a 1-inch piece. And now I've got this piece that measures 2 1/4 by 6. So I'm going to use that rather than stick it back in the pack or dispose of it. I am going to, ooh, I almost spilled my coffee, guys. I am going to grab my Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to add some adhesive on. Ooh, sticky, sticky. It's ripping my envelope flap. Wow. All right, so I've got my adhesive. Now I'm just going to lay this piece down right along the score line for the envelope flap. Press it down, and you've seen me do this. If you've been following me for a while, you've seen me do this a million times because I do not like naked envelopes. So by doing this, we get just that little, this matchy piece for our card. And we get to use that piece of designer series paper. All right, so I'm going to bring in our 3 3/4 by 5 piece of designer series paper. And I've got my card base cut at 4 1/4 by 11. And I do need to score this. I gave this tip out on my mystery stamping Wednesday last Wednesday. When you cut cardstock at 4 1/4 by 11, the cardstock fibers naturally do not want to bend this way. You can get by with not scoring on a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, but not on a 4 1/4 by 11. So I'm going to move this in. I'm going to place it at the 5 1/2 mark, and then I'm just going to score. And then remember, bumpy side up, and score. Give it a good crease with our bone folder. And now that way we get nice even edges on our card by scoring, okay? And we don't get the crack on the paper. We didn't break the fibers. We scored them, bent them, and allowed them to fold. All right, I'm going to bring in again, like I said, my silicone mat. And I've got a whole little bowl of die cut pieces because I did figure that you wanted to watch me die cut all of these pieces. All right, I'm going to bring in an item that is not a Stampin' Up item, but I absolutely love it. This is from My Pink Petunia, and it's their glue gun. And I'm telling you, it is worth every cent. Mine was a gift, but go out and look. You'll see it. And can you see what I'm doing? You get just the nicest little dabs of glue. And then it sits down in here, and there's a little silicone pad down there so that it does the little metal tip doesn't clog. And I'll show you something else about it here in just a second. All right, so I'm just gluing. This is the tree or the branch or whatever you want to use it for out of the Jungle Pal dies. And it's a little bit longer than my card base, so I'm just going to trim that off. Okay. And then let's dig in here. So what I did is this is the leaf or the grassy die, and I cut, I have, this is the granny apple green, and this is the garden green. So I cut 2 of each. And then is what I did to get this canopy up here at the top is I just took glue and ran it right along the edge there. Hello, Ginger. Good morning. I am going to just offset these, matching up that top edge. And I want it so that the darker green shows between the leaves. All right. And now you see how it's still not wide enough? So I'm just going to take another one here, and I'm going to add add that to our piece. And then I can take adhesive and just put it all along that top edge. And I wanted to do this before I put this piece down. Oops, you can see that I need to extend just a little bit. So I'm going to put this down. And then I can put this down. And that'll be close enough. I know I'm not all the way over to the edge, but you see how on our sample I have the two leaves up there? That'll work perfectly. All right. So let's get out our other leaves here. And this die is also from the Jungle Pals. And you guys, while I was doing this, I was thinking about, you know what I think would work really well too with this die set is and I can't think of the name of the set right now, and I hate when that happens when I'm watching other videos. But I'm going to grab it. It's that little rhinoceros, and it is called um, Rhino Ready. This. I think this would be, and look at these sentiments. Those would work well too. Look at Hope Your Birthday is Wild. Maybe we'll use that on this one if it fits on my die cut. But anyway, this is in the online exclusives if you're interested in that. Okay. I am going to grab a dimensional, and I feel like I've had too much coffee today. I feel like I'm bouncing all over the place. I'm just going to add this right in here for just a little dimension, a little more dimension. All right, let's bring in our card base because we're ready to glue this down. And you saw how I had some pieces hanging over the edge. That's okay because remember we cut our designer series paper at 3 3/4 by 5. So that gives us that extra border around the outside. So if it overlies, it's fine. Who else do we have on? Well, I think I said good morning to everybody. All right. So there we have that piece. Now, let me show you about the coloring here. I will never claim to be good with watercoloring or any of that kind of stuff. Oh, I forgot to add my one leaf. Let's bring that back in. I'm going to add some up at the top. And then remember how I only glued up at the top here? That allows me to slide this in and under and kind of give it a little bit more of a lift. Okay, so now let's stamp our alligator and our toucan. Ink this up. Mhm. And then while I have this ink out, I'm going to bring in my sentiment. And again, this was from the Zany Zoo set out of the annual catalog. I'm just going to stamp that right in the middle. That was almost a disaster. Could have landed in my stamp pad. Okay, I'm going to bring these back in. And here's what I did to color these. It's nothing, it's not rocket science or anything like that, but I took the orange, pumpkin pie, and the dark crushed curry. And this is the Stampin' Blends, the blender pen, okay? And it's all this has is like, they call it magic liquid in there, but you can dip in a color, and I'll do it here in just, so I'm gonna dip in on my pad here, or maybe even just on the side and pick up some extra ink. And is what I wanna do is then just color. I don't wanna scrub. You wanna use really light hand, and then you can just move the color onto your card. And then when you're done in that color, you can just keep wiping here until it is clear. And then you can dip in your next color. And one thing I found, and it's more apparent on the alligator than it is on here, but I'm not going to dip again. I'm just going to color, hoping to get a little bit of a lighter shade of this, which I did. Okay. So again, I'm going to color off the stuff, and I want to take, this is kind of touchy for Saturday morning, isn't it? Usually they're a lot, what do I want to say, a more simple put together, but today I decided we're going for it. I'm going to put a Poppy Parade tongue on my little toucan. Have any of you used blender pens before? They're awesome. Nice blue tool. Yes, Donna, you can refill it. Ginger, you buy it out on, you have to go to the My Pink Petunia site. All right. It is a game changer if you use liquid glue. It makes it go so smooth. All right. So now I want my toucan, the body and wings, to be black. So I'm going to dip in my lid here. Did you see me do that? And then I'm just going to lightly brush on. And if I don't add ink, it kind of starts moving out to a more of a gray than black, which I like. I thought it made our little toucan look more realistic. And it's not even, but I mean, who knows? Maybe the toucan has its feathers ruffled. I don't know. It's, oh, it's so funny. So enough with that. I'm going to rub the color off. And then I'm going to bring in Parakeet Party. And that's what I'm going to use to color my alligator. Now, is what I found is where you want the shadows, like down towards the bottom. If you start coloring there and then work your way up on the body, it works pretty good for shading. But as I said, I will never claim to be the coloring specialist. But as you can see, it really does go pretty fast to color these. I got a little careless there, but that's all right. I didn't want to keep you sitting here watching me color. And then, because you can't just leave those little spines on the alligator's back, I did bring the crushed flurry back in and added just a little color to each of the signs on it. We have it. Now I am going to just die cut these out quickly. And it's what I want to do because I've spent the time now to color them. I want to make sure that my um, die is not going to slip and ruin my little images here. So we have another non-Stampin' Up item, and that's the Post-it tape. It works great for this, and they aren't terribly sticky. So we'll get our die lined up. And I'll be right back. I'm just going to run this through my stamp and cut and emboss. And I do believe that all of these dies fit the mini stamp and cut and emboss if that's what you call. Right. Let's bring our card base back in wherever that went now. And I'm just going to add some dimensionals to our toucan. Set him right up here, or her, whatever, right up there on the branch. And then I had cut that extra piece of glass. So what I did was I just kind of put my crocodile or alligator, whatever this thing is. I am deathly afraid of all of the above, so I think it's kind of funny that I have it in the card. I have friends that go to Florida every winter and they send pictures of them on the golf course with alligators running behind them. And it's like, oh, heck no. Like, I'd be out of there so fast it would make your head spin. Right. I'm just going to put him right down here in the grass because he wants to wish a happy birthday too. And so then what I did is I had cut these long leaves in the die set as well. So I took this one and I kind of had it hanging down, but then I want to put my label, my happy birthday label, but I want it so that the leaves go over into the sentiment there. And then the last thing is these adorable little leaves. Doesn't it just like scream jungle with all the green and leaves? I'm going to take a mini blue dot and just add that to the light green. I'm just going to put that up here for a little more dimension. So there we have it. This is our jungle pals. Nice blue tool. Can you refill it? Holly, you're very funny, Donna. The other day, she was on the phone with me when I was filling my glue bottle and it ran all over. I and down my shirt. It made a terrible mess. She's just she's my heckler this morning. Donna the heckler. All right. Need a little inside sentiment here. So I'm just going to stamp. And I'm missing one thing. Oh no. I'll just one quick. I wanted to carry one of the leaves inside the card too. So I'll get that cut out here quickly and glue it on. And then I will look closely to see if anybody has any questions that I didn't answer. So is what I wanted to do. I just die cut another one of those long, narrow leaves. Adding some glue. And then just a little bit on it. What do you know about these magnetic bowls for your dies when you're using them? They're like, seriously, like a godsend. I don't know how many times I've dropped a die or had a die stick to the back of a stamp case, and then I'm panicking because I thought I lost my dies. I got this off from Amazon. It's just a magnetic disc, and I think they're actually made for like people who do woodworking and whatever for screws and that kind of stuff. But holy cow, it's awesome. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate your applause. Um, Nancy, great coloring. Thanks, Nancy. Janine, I'm glad you love it. I hope this inspires you. If you got the Jungle Pal set, I know Beth just had that arrive at her house. So hopefully I've inspired you with some coloring technique and some layering of the dies. The one thing I should tell you, the tree die, when you cut it out, I cut it out first right in the middle of my paper. That is not a good idea. When you cut out the tree die, you want to make sure that you have a straight edge. Let me cut this so it's straight, and I'll show you. Because it doesn't cut it out completely. It just does an impression on like the straight edge without the branches. Like right here, it doesn't cut that. So when you put it on your paper, you want to put it like so, because as all it cuts out is this edge. Oh, no, not even this edge. It just cuts out along this edge. It's really interesting. And then you just have to take your paper snips and snip it. Okay? All right, you guys, there is our hot coffee Saturday. I can't wait to use my bundle. Way to go. Cute scenery card. Thank you, Joyce. All right, you guys, stay warm. It is freezing cold here in central Minnesota. Stay warm, and it's a great day for crafting. See you next Saturday. Bye for now.